Hello there. Welcome to your program, Security Reports, where we get you informed, educated, enlightened, and most importantly, updated on security issues anywhere it is happening. I remain yours and only, Ernest Enuneku.
And I, Shirley Daniels.
But today's program will be beginning on a very, very sad note with the tragedy that happened in Borno State on Monday, where a team from the 154 Task Force Battalion, led by the commander, Lieutenant Colonel Yusuf Ibrahim Aminu, and two other soldiers were blown up by IED and put there, buried in the ground by insurgents. Now, it was a very, very sad day for the Nigerian Army, and I tell you, the nation at large. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, was there yesterday at the Malari cantonment in Borno State, where the officer and soldiers were buried. He was there to commiserate with the families of the deceased. He, however, used the occasion to admonish officers and soldiers to be steadfast and resilient in their duty of keeping Nigeria safe. He, however, told them to be more vigilant and more watchful and observant in their environments as they go about carrying out their national assignment. Well, still on the program, Shuli.
Well, actually, like you said, it's sad news, but we'll have to move on.
Yeah, we'll have to move on.
Well, still on the program, we'll bring you the concluding part of the commissioning that took place in Jaji, Kaduna State, where the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, did a lot of commissioning, the hostels, the swimming pool for the officers, and so on and so forth. I think we'll just have to bring you that report so that you see for yourself.
The Chief of Army Staff Quarterly Conference, held in Jaji, Kaduna State, was the first in the year 2019. It was a gathering of all principal officers of Nigerian Army, general officer commanding various army divisions, and very senior army officers, both serving and retired. It was an ample opportunity for the Nigerian Army to reappraise itself on its performance in the year 2018, and also how well the Nigerian Army has kept to the vision of the Chief of Army Staff of building a professionally responsive Nigerian Army in the discharge of its constitutional role. Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai ruled out some of the achievements of the Nigerian Army for the period under review and sued for support from Nigerians to help the Nigerian Army improve on their successes.
It is gratifying to note that the Nigerian Army within the first quarter of 2019 has performed creditably well, starting with the seizing of the initiative and turning the battle momentum against the Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast, and wrapping up with the professional manner with which the Nigerian Army supported the civil authorities as part of our constitutional role to ensure the successful conduct of the 2019 general elections. The successful conduct of exercise Egoikia 3 and Operation Safe Conduct 2019 in support of the Nigerian police and civil authorities has contributed to strengthen the nation's democracy, considering the wide acceptability and credibility of the elections as espoused by key nations of the world, civil society organizations, as well as local and international observers and monitors. Despite reports of some alleged cases of infractions by some personnel, which are being investigated by a high-level committee, I am elated with the encomiums and accolades showered on the Nigerian Army for the high level of professionalism exhibited in the conduct of the elections. I say well done to each and every one of you. There must be sustained synergy, cooperation and collaboration with all stakeholders in these endeavors. At this point, I will seize this opportunity to caution the media social media and the general public not to glorify bandits, armed robbers, kidnappers, and ethnic militias to the extent that they are seen as stronger than the military and other security agencies. The criminals and bandits are only as strong as the society paints or view them, and further propagated by the media. It is important to state that information and intelligence flows from the people and indeed from the press and the public. Such criminal activities are intelligence-based, and the people are in this regard to provide timely information and clear identifications of the perpetrators. Undue publicity and praising of the bandits and other criminal elements will only motivate them to commit more criminal acts at the detriment of the society.
During the quarterly conference, Lieutenant General Tukusu Buratai commissioned some landmark projects in Jaji, Zaria, and some other parts of Kaduna State. Some of these projects were initiated, constructed, and furnished by his administration, while others were rehabilitated or remodeled for better working experience and improved living standard for officers and soldiers, including their families. These projects include the brand new headquarters of the Nigerian Army School of Infantry, an Olympic-sized swimming pool that is expected to serve the School of Infantry, newly constructed and furnished accommodations for students of the school. Others are remodeled barrack accommodation for soldiers at the Chindict Cantonment, and the foundation laying of the acquired cotton and agricultural processors limited Zaria, now redesignated as Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai Camp, which is expected to serve as an expansion of the Chindict Cantonment.
Indeed, this development will address a diet of accommodation in the cantonment and also relieve the existing structures which have been overstretched. Efforts of the Commandant Depot Nigerian Army in initiating proposal for the construction of additional living quarters for our personnel here is therefore timely and indeed commendable. This facility was acquired in 2017 as part of our vision to expand and enhance the facilities at this very important training institution. The plan is to build additional staff living quarters for personnel to ease accommodation challenges faced here at this training institution. Depot Nigerian Army remains very pivotal in our current efforts to reposition the Nigerian Army towards achieving my vision to have a professionally responsive Nigerian Army in the discharge of its constitutional roles. To this end, we shall continue to provide necessary logistics to enable you perform your primary responsibilities effectively. I therefore charge all officers and soldiers of this institution to remain focused, dedicated to duty and discipline as you forge towards sustaining, improving the high standards you have already attained.
Put one here, put one there. You guys should stop bringing stuff down.
Lieutenant General Buratai also used the occasion of the conference to meet the medical needs of some of the communities in Kaduna State as part of the Nigerian Army's way of helping to make Nigeria a more healthy society. Ernest Enuneku, Secretary Reports, Kaduna State.
Welcome back from that report. We could see all the facilities, the remodeling of the hostels and the commissioning of the swimming pool and so on and so forth. We want to say well done to Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai for this job well done.
We must say here at Secretary Reports that the Army met by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, is actually wearing a new look. The barrack environment is changing, the working environment is changing. Soldiers and officers are actually finding it good here at this time. In his tenure, we say kudos once again to the Chief of Army Staff for doing a yeoman's job. Now, still on the program. Now, the grand finale of the first quarter Chief of Army Staff conference ended in a grand style.
It was really a grand one.
It was a display of what the Nigerian Army can do. You needed to be there to see the firings, the shooting of different form of arsenal. I tell you, enemies of Nigeria just find a way running because the Nigerian Army is set for you.
If I were them, I don't think I should be doing any of this anymore. I'll just hands off and surrender because they are so prepared, so ready for these people.
The Nigerian Army is prepared. You need to see what they have in stock. Let's get to that report.
The successes recorded by the Nigerian Army so far in the internal security of Nigeria, especially in the northeast, is not unconnected to the fighting arsenals at its disposals. And these were on display at the grand finale of the Chief of Army Staff Quarterly Conference held in Jaji, Kaduna State. The event was kicked off immediately after the arrival of the special guest of honor, the Governor of Kaduna State, Madam Nasiru El-Rufai, represented by his deputy, Architect Yusuf Barnabas Bala. The Nigerian Army Women's Corps, one of the creations of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, were on ground to thrill the audience, showing to all present that really what a man can do, a woman can do better.
The female personnel of the Nigerian Army will be showcasing what they can do as part of their contributions in the security architecture of the Nigerian Army under the leadership of Amiable Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai. The presentation is broken into twofold. The first 20 minutes will be for motorcycle, and then APC platoon will also be on the action.
Infantry combat vehicles. Today, as you can see, these mechanized infantry combat vehicles are manned by an officer and soldiers of the Nigerian Army Women Corps. The platoon is commanded by Lieutenant Fatima Sali, a member of the 63rd Regular Course of the Nigerian Defense Academy, and she is a galloper. of the mechanized infantry combat vehicles carried a section of infantry combat female soldiers. On dismounting, each section will be commanded by a section commander, normally a corporal. Before dismounting, the platoon will carry out tactical movements with the mechanized infantry combat vehicles. These movements are caterpillaring and leapfrogging. Attack or closing in with the enemy, the infantry section will dismount and carry out firearm movements to neutralize the enemy. For example, in an attack, operations of war, it is not practicable for the assaulting troops to produce such effective fire on the enemy as would result in neutralization of the objective.
Please, a round of applause for them, please. Therefore, what is followed is when a body of troops is assaulting, another body of troops produce effective volume of fire on the objective carrying the movements of assaulting troops by fire. Using caterpillary, the section will assault and neutralize enemy snipers, delaying their advance.
The special guest of honor and other dignitaries present were given a tour around some of the artilleries of the Nigerian Army, which has helped the Army in its continuous victory over terrorism and insurgency in the country.
Is fired from the main armament of Tank C-72. That's the latest tank in the inventory of the Nigerian Army Armor Corps. It was introduced into the Nigerian Army in the year 2014 with a most velocity of 850 meters per second. It has a direct range of 1,100 meters and an indirect range of 4,000 meters. It is used to engage soft targets. The last item on display is the combat charge. It consists of the propeller charge, without which the main armament of the Tank C-72 cannot be fired. In conclusion, sir, you have been introduced to various types of ammunition fired by armored fighting vehicles currently in the inventory of Nigerian Army Armor Corps. When next you encounter a tank on the battlefield, you should always remember that the tank is capable of firing different types of ammunition for different types of targets. This is one of the unique reasons why the armor in particular is a specialist corps. Thanks for your rapt attention.
It can give us a minimum range of 600 meters and a maximum range of 800 meters. The weapon is air-cooled. It is a belt disintegrated weapon. The weight of the weapon is 10.9 kg, and the overall length of the weapon from the butt to the muzzle is 2.88 is 1.231 meters. Thank you very much, sir. Commando Mortar is the platoon commander's personal artillery, just like we have the 120 as the personal artillery of the CO. It is a high trajectory weapon with area neutralizing weapon. It uses 4 types of bombs, and the bombs are shown on the banners. Thank you very much, sir. Agents will always like to use it. The reason is because the weapon has no any recoil action, easy to fire, and it has a dark blast through the venturi. It is a weapon that can be used to destroy enemy camp, enemy adversary, and the rest of them. So because of time, we'll go to the next one. Can give one company if they are co-located, and then I'll set it to different sectors. The different sectors, I can set different parameters independently, and then it's going to stand it and give the result. But what it does is that we need to know that it's a line of sight equipment, and if it's a line of sight equipment, it means that you have to carry out analysis to do a radar map to see where you can see so that you can advise the commander accordingly.
The Nigerian Army Vehicle Manufacturing Company, a fast-growing military hardware production company, also used the occasion to showcase some of their innovations in ballistic vest and armored vehicle production, which will be launched soon.
Will be brought to this stand where the dignitaries can have a good look. The Nigerian Army Light Tactical Vehicle, which we are here to test the armored protection, has been moved to the range from where a firer is expected to come so close as point blank shot, 5 meters, to engage the vehicle. We will watch it from here, and at the end, the vehicle will be driven to the foot of the hill from where the special guest of honor and all dignitaries will be invited to see the point of impact. From what I'm seeing here, no single penetration on the vehicle. We'll all be allowed to see the degree of the impact. The firer is trying to engage the vehicle frontally. It's trying to engage the treated glass, which is also bulletproof. You can see it. Good shot, but no single penetration. This is the end of the testing.
Make the presentation.
The high point of the occasion was a real-time display of the fighting capability of the Nigerian Army in a real-war situation, bringing to bear what would befall any enemy who dare to threaten the unity of Nigeria. The special guest of honor after the display expressed his confidence and readiness of the Nigerian Army to handle any crisis, no matter how big or small.
Chief of the Army Staff, let me start by saying that even if we stayed longer, I'm enjoying every moment of what is happening here. I don't know which of the events to particularly make reference to, whether it is the snipers that didn't miss a single target or the women corps. I have enjoyed every moment being here. I'm highly delighted for the opportunity given me to grace this event as the special guest of honor on behalf of our Governor, His Excellency Malam Nasru El-Rufai, who as we speak, is engaged with other national and state matters. It is always a pleasure to be among members of the armed forces, especially the Nigerian Army. I make bold to say that the strength of any nation is in the ability of its military to protect its territorial integrity and support internal security as aptly captured in the 1999 Constitution as amended. To achieve this significant role, it has become a norm for fighting forces all over the world to constantly maintain combat readiness through periodic trainings in line with best practices. The Nigerian Army, as globally respected force, cannot afford to lag behind in battle preparedness or its personnel. The rise in security challenges across the country has made it imperative that the Nigerian Army come to the aid of civil authority. However, these security challenges in the country are dynamic in nature, involving the use of both kinetic and non-kinetic approaches, thus requiring multifaceted strategies to effectively overcome them. Therefore, in order to maintain combat readiness and battle preparedness, it is necessary for the Nigerian Army to constantly engage officers and men in training. The Nigerian Army and indeed other security agencies have made tremendous efforts in keeping our state, Kaduna State, safe and secure. On a larger scale, the Nigerian Army is in the forefront in combating terrorism, kidnappings, economic sabotage, and other civil disturbances in different parts of the country. I wish to reiterate that the collaborative efforts between the Nigerian Army and other security agencies in tackling the prevalent security threats across the state are highly commendable. We as a state, we as a government are indeed very, very grateful to the Nigerian military. Currently, the Nigerian Army is better positioned and capable to contain all forms of threats to the country from both within and outside its borders. It is worthy to commend Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, for providing the visionary leadership and logistics needed to transform the Nigerian Army. Let me also specially commend the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai, for his efforts in maintaining high standards in the Nigerian Army through consistent training and support programs, such as the one witnessed today. This was evident as I drove through the cantonment and noticed the massive developments that have taken place since my last visit here. I am equally highly impressed at the prototypes displayed by the Nigerian Army Vehicle Manufacturing Company. This shows that the Nigerian Army has really come of age. I dare to add that with a sustained commitment in this effort, as being exhibited by our current Chief of Army Staff, we can look forward to self-sufficiency in meeting with our needs, as against depending entirely on the importation of these military hardware, which will ordinarily cost the country many times more when this company fully takes off. On a final note, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to the Chief of Army Staff and indeed the entire Nigerian Army for the support they have been rendering to us and for helping in sustaining peace and stability in Kaduna State. Let me once more commend the Nigerian Army for organizing the Cat Week and indeed the firepower demonstration, which is key in building and developing the capacity of its personnel.
The Nigerian Army, no doubt, has what it takes to keep Nigeria safe from external and internal aggressors. Ernest Enuneku, Security Report, Jaji, Kaduna State.
Welcome back. It's very obvious that the Nigerian Army is ready to ensure that every corner, every state, even the Federal Capital Territory is safe. They have all it takes to ensure that enemies are put at bay. We must warn at this point that enemies of Nigeria, wherever you are, start running. Yeah, still on the program, security reports. Now, following the insecurity the nation is actually facing today, I tell you, FCT Command, or rather the Federal Capital Territory, is having its own share. And yesterday there was a press briefing by the Commissioner of Police, FCT Command, talking about CP Balashiroma. He displayed a lot of achievements the command have made recently, and actually it's of the month of May. This breakthrough were all from the month of May. Surely you were there.
Yes, Ernest, I was there, and in fact, to be sincere with you, the rate of crime and criminality in the FCT is high. But then it's so saddening. It's so saddening that young people don't think of doing any other thing. They don't want to use their life to do something meaningful. Instead of they rather choose to go on the path of crime. And it's so sad. And then talking about this thing, look at the ex-soldier, and in fact, for me, I felt like because of the line of job we do, you don't have to share emotions and all that. But for me, it was a sad one. Moving forward,
no. At this point, we must say that the Nigerian Army, and in short, not only Nigerian Army, all the military parastatals and even paramilitary parastatals, when you dismiss your officers, there should be a program to reorientate them and to bring them back to the normal society. Because from what we see, over 70% of crimes happening today are being carried out by dismissed officers. Dismissed policemen, dismissed paramilitary people, because all they know how to do is to carry gun. And when you dismiss them, they go out there to society to commit havoc.
But Ernest, talking about that, for me, I think it's a personal thing. These people have been in one military or the other, and I also believe they have this orientation before coming in to join either the Nigerian Army or the Nigerian Police. And for me, you should think of something useful to do. If you're dismissed, because I don't think the Nigerian Army or the Nigerian Police will just dismiss someone without doing something or without committing a crime. Then for you should think back, relax, and say, okay, what can I do to make my future better? If this person should do something nice, I think maybe they could be called back, kind of. Some people even go into pastoring, evangelism job and all that. So it's not about carrying gun. There are other things you could do. They can even go into farming. I don't know, Ernest.
We must once again call on the Nigerian, the relevant authorities to see what they can do to reorientate these people back into the society instead of dismissing them and them causing havoc to the general populace. Let's get to that report now.
It is my pleasure once again to welcome you to this press briefing today, the 14th of May 2019, and to keep you abreast with achievements made in line with the deployments of Operation Puff Adder, which the command have keyed into as a strategy for crime prevention. Arrest of ATM swap syndicate. On the 30th of March 2019, a report was received from Alhaji Usman Ahmadu of Gwarimpa that on the 29th March 2019 he went to an ATM machine to make some withdrawals, and the card got stuck in the machine. But on the 20th 2019 at about 01:30 hours, he got an alert debiting him the sum of 950,000 naira from his account. He then got the customer care number, which enabled him to block the card. Upon receipt of the complaint, our detectives, with the cooperation of the bank officials, got the identity of the suspects. The suspects were arrested on the 2nd of May 2019. They are 1. Ernest Mensah, 23 years old. Obivoye Ogene Obo, 23 years old. Orumatsoma Hendricks, 21 years old. The suspect admitted to the crime and stated that on that fateful day, the victim went to withdraw at the ATM and was finding it difficult. He then asked them to assist him in the process. They swapped his card with their own. On how they got his PIN number, they said the gang leader stood directly behind the victim, and since the card is fake, he had to enter the PIN severally. They then moved on to the filling station in Kubwa Expressway, where they have an accomplice by name Harry, who used POS to transfer the money into their account and remitted cash equivalent to the company. When asked how many times they have operated, they said this is the 4th operation around Gwarimpa area and on weekends only. The following fuel attendants attached to a filling station in Kubwa, suspected to be conniving with the suspects, have been arrested. 1 is Henry Elvis, 2 is Tayo Adorinto, 3 is Solomon Ojola, 4 is Mary Igo. The 5th is Elizabeth Oke Agu. Arrest of armed robbery suspect. 1 chance, popular 1 chance. On the 12th of May 2019 at about 22:30 hours, our operatives arrested 1 Fatai Idris, 37 years old, and 2 Emeka Ozemena, 26 years old, in a vehicle with their victim struggling around Next Cash and Carry. Our operatives explained that when they noticed how suspicious the vehicle movement was, they decided to block it, and the victim was rescued. Upon interrogation, the suspect stated that they are a one-chance gang that operate around Duz Alhaji Gwarimpa, Mabushi, and Next Cash and Carry. According to them, they had 2 victims on that day, whom they picked from Duz Alhaji and robbed around Charlie Boy area of Gwarimpa while the vehicle was in motion. And the second was by Next Cash and Carry, and it is through him that they were picked up. According to the first victim, 1 Esther Ikenga, the victims picked her at Baiduz Alhaji on her way to Bega. On reaching Charlie Boy, Emeka was sitting beside her at the back seat, held her round the neck, threatening to break her neck if she made any move. Mario, who is at large and the gang leader, asked her to bring everything she had on her. She then gave them the sum of 19,000 naira and her phone. Efforts are on to also get the gang leader Mario, who is at large. Arrest of suspected armed robber. On the 5th of May 2019 at about 0800 hours, the manager of a filling station located at Lugbe was taking the sum of 3 million naira to the bank on a motorcycle, when the motorcycle was ambushed by 4 armed men who pushed the motorcycle and dispossessed her of the money. Other motorcycle riders in the area who thought it was an accident chased the vehicle carrying the suspect, and in the process the tire of the vehicle pulled out and the car was demobilized. The suspect then ran into the bush around Piakasa village. The police was then informed and the vehicle towed to the station. Operators then used the plate number of the vehicle to track the owner of the vehicle, who is a member of the gang, and was on his way with another gang members for an operation at Jabi on the 6th of May 2019. The suspects arrested are Simon Monday, Isaac Kiri, Alex Enyame, and Abdul Usman. Upon interrogation, the gang members said they all came to Abuja at the instance of Friday, the gang leader, who is at large for robbery. They said planning and operation is always with an insider, especially security guards in houses, so robbed. On his part, one herbalist, Abdul, said that he uses charms and incantation to cause rain anytime they are going for an operation. Exhibits recovered from them are charms, cutlasses, iron bar, giant cutter, sharp iron, 2 hacksaws, motor vehicle plate numbers. Efforts are on to arrest 2 members of the gang, Daddy and Friday, who are on the run. Arrest of armed robbery suspect and be in possession of firearms. On the 14th May 2019 at about 21:30 hours, our men on stop and search around Mabushi roundabout accosted 2 men for a search after noting their suspicious moves. One of them, Friday Udoka, ran, but John Ayete was arrested with a locally made pistol. Upon interrogation, he confessed that they were on their way to Jabi for a robbery operation from Mabushi. He further added that they normally pick their targets in the afternoon, then move to act at night. Investigation still ongoing. Efforts are on to arrest Friday Udoka. Arrest of employment racketeering member. On the 7th of May 2019 at about 1600 hours, one Egbonu Vincent Onoche was arrested by operatives upon a report by one Ijoma Ebanje that he, Vincent, collected the sum of 200,000 naira from her with a promise to get her replacement employment with the Nigerian Immigration Service. Upon interrogation, he admitted to the crime and explained he met one Alhaji Sanusi Musa sometimes back, who told him that if he has anybody looking for employment, he can assist him. Vincent then informed his friend, Ijoma brother, who then told her about the offer. She was asked to pay the sum of 200,000 naira, which she did, and even got a confirmation email from fraudsters created immigration email address. He said 16 other people paid him the sums ranging from 200,000 naira to 300,000 naira for employment into the Nigerian prison service and replacement into the Nigerian Immigration Service. He explained that crisis started when on the date of the said interview and collection of appointment letters. One moment that is supposed to facilitate the process asked for additional 400,000 naira collectively from them all. The suspect is in custody. All other members of the syndicates, effort is being made to arrest all other members of the syndicate. A breakthrough has been made, and a lot of recoveries has been made in terms of monies defrauded the victims. The command has also decided to focus on drugs, the issue we've been disturbing us about, bringing to our notice. And I think we've been able to record some success here. A major drug dealer was picked up around Area 1. A lot of drugs were found with him. Diazepam, which is a prescription drug. We have this cough syrup, what do you call it? Codeine, and so on and so forth were found with him. As at the time of arrest, he was found with 3 million naira cash, which is proceeds of the sale of the drugs. He is in custody. We will conclude our investigations and will ensure he is arraigned in court soonest. This would not have been possible without the cooperation of members of the public. It was a civic-minded Nigerian that passed this information to us. He had noticed the thing going on in Area 1 and it was disturbing him. And he passed on the information. We conceal his identity, we will not reveal his identity. People should not have fear of their identities being revealed because they've given us information.
My name is Emeka.
Emeka?
Yeah.
Emeka, what prompted you? What pushed you? Why did you go into this crime?
This crime, I've not been doing it before. That was my first day I did it.
What did you even do?
If we carry you in the motor, as if this is my friend, he's a driver. When you enter our motor, we'll hold you and collect your phone and your ATM. And that day was the first day we did it, me and him.
How many people have done this kind of thing?
That was the first day.
The very first
That
day.
was the first day.
So come push you. Why did you do it? Why did you choose this as a line of business?
To me, I don't want to, I would say it's a devil work to me because we have a work that we are doing, me and him. I do screening and painting. He's a remedial roofing. So it was one of our friends that call us one day to look for a car that is a work that we will do. I said, what kind of work is that? They said, if we bring the car, we explain where. So when we bring the motor now, all of us now entered. He said, let's go to town. So we enter town. So he tell this one, if you see anybody that a girl that is standing nearby, then he park and ask the person where he's going. So when the girl enter the motor, then I will now hold the person. And himself will be interrogating the person to bring the phone and everything finish.
So the very first day when I do this business, when I wound anybody or not kill anybody?
No, we don't. No, we no hold gun, no hold knife, nothing. Just hold you finish.
So what I collect for the person hand?
Now the phone and then ATM finish.
I no collect her money.
They will collect money.
How much?
Now 5,000.
You said you were dismissed from the army in 2015.
Yes, sir.
So tell us how many crimes have you been involved since then till now?
Okay, from then.
Narrate to us what happened, how you did it.
Yes, sir. Though the weapon is not mine, it's one ex-soldier that brought the weapon for me.
An ex-soldier?
Yes, sir.
Explain to us, how did you do it?
So I went to a filling station and I robbed there with one of my colleagues, two of my colleagues, but one escaped, but one is here. So 3 filling stations, AA, Rano, Shema, and I've forgotten the other one name.
What else have you done again?
Then I snatched a car, vehicles.
How many vehicles so far?
3.
From where and where?
From at Guarumpa,
and
Jabi.
And
no, that's the only places.
Jabi and Guarumpa.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how many ATMs have you robbed?
I robbed 3 ATMs.
Which bank?
How do you do it?
Zenith and Fence. After somebody will draw money, we'll follow him and double cross him and collect the money.
In Abuja here?
Yes, sir.
So how much have you displaced with people of their money? How many times? And how much?
The first one is 50,000 naira. The second one is 40, and the third one is 30. It depends on.
Why you're doing all these things? Do you go with your like with a camouflage, or you go on normal mufti?
No, on normal mufti.
So you just shoot them with gun and they give you what they have?
No, I don't shoot.
What do you now use to?
I just use the gun to threaten them, but I don't shoot.
Welcome back from that report. You've seen for yourself. Please, we want to use this opportunity to encourage that people should actually look for something to do. Don't stick to the path of crime. And also want to say kudos to the Commissioner of Police in the person of Balachoruma, CP Balachoruma, for a job well done, making sure that the people of FCT sleep with their eyes closed. And Ernest, I think now you should.
I tell you, CP Balachoruma has a lot on his shoulders. Now, the Federal Capital Territory must be safe. It's a must. So he has to do all that needs to be done to ensure that every part of FCT remains safe. Now, that's all we can take for this week on your program, Security Reports. Or we will still say the relevant authorities to ensure that dismissed officers, dismissed policemen, dismissed wherever, please, they should not just allow them go back to society without actually rehabilitating them, to bring them back to their normal form. Because I tell you, soldiers are not just normal. They should rehabilitate them and bring them back to their normal form so that they can fit into the society. Chile.
I think you've said it all, and then I want to also use this opportunity to tell the citizens, not just the FCT city residents and citizens, rather Nigeria as a whole. Please, when you're moving, always be security conscious, be security alert, because some of this crime you see people do, you can't even tell. So you just have to do. Not when you sit in the car. Some of us, we are used to when we sit in the car, we are pressing our phones. It should not be done. You should just look around and make sure you're safe wherever you are.
Well, I remain yours and only Ernest Enuneku.
And I, Shirley Daniels.
Bye
for now.